Hello. In this video, we're going to look at the year-to-year comparison report. And you'll get this report for the first time after you've done the survey 2 years. My hope for all of these surveys really is that administration, school board, leadership will look at the results of their survey, choose 1 or 2 questions that they want to focus on, implement changes and interventions, and then look at their scores the following year to see if those changes and interventions had an impact. And that's what this report is designed to do. It's to show you if the changes that you had throughout the school year have had an impact on the scores. So looking at this survey, we start with the net engagement score. Now the net engagement score is just a way to take the results of a question, all of those answers, and distill it down to a single number that you can compare from year to year. And to do that, you take the number of people who answered 5 on your survey for this particular question, subtract from that the number of people who answered 1 or 2 for this particular question, and then divide that by the total number of responses. And that will give you a number somewhere between -1 and +1. I did a whole video just explaining the net engagement score, how it's calculated, why we chose that particular metric. I'll link to that video in the description of this one. So this report starts with obviously the name of the question and the group that it's in the survey, but then you get your previous year's net engagement score. So this report is showing the results of the 2021-2022 survey. So this previous year represents the results of your 2020-2021 survey. And in this instance, the question had a net engagement score of 0. This current year, represents the results of the 2021-2022 survey, and the results there, the net engagement score was 0.538, and that is a difference. 0.538 minus 0 is 0.538, so that's what this difference column shows you. And then there's a little tiny graph that shows you visually just the change from one year to the next year. There's a very dim gray line which shows you 0 as a reference point, and then the line will show you your results from last year to this year. This particular graph is showing up green since this was a statistically significant increase. In any survey, you're going to see some variation from one year to the next. Just randomness is going to kick in, and you'll see some questions will go up and some questions will go down. Without getting too much into the math, there is an equation that allows you to determine if the change was statistically significant. And so that's what this is showing, is that it's green right here. The survey is sorted by this difference, so the biggest difference is going to be on the top, and then it's going to get gradually less. You'll see when the graphs turn black as opposed to green, these are changes that statistics would attribute just to random variation. So yes, your score on this particular survey went from 0.636 to 0.75, which is a difference of 0.114, but that could just be attributed to random variation. So as you scroll down, you get through all the ones that are black. You'll see that it turns negative. So at this point on, these are questions where the results from last year compared to this year went down. And then at the very bottom, there are the ones that the results from last year to this year went down by a statistically significant amount. And those will be color-coded red there. It's important to understand that the red and the green is really just indicating if the change was statistically significant. There's nothing that says that a score of 0.154 is necessarily bad. It's just saying that that score went down by a statistically significant amount. So it's important to look at some of your other reports that would indicate if your score on a particular question is higher or lower than expected. But this report is just showing you the change from one year to the next. So that is the year-over-year comparison report. If you have any questions about this report or really any of the reports, feel free to reach out to me directly at milliganschooldata@gmail.com. Thank you.